Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Chaos TV Challenger Series number 19. This is day 2, and we are watching MYM versus TheFoxSound. My name is Nature, and once again, I'm joined by Rapid.
Hey man, it's good to be back, and it appears as if everything is working today. So if you stuck through the issues yesterday, then you guys are awesome. And also awesome are the teams coming out here today. There's TheFoxSound, your team on the right in the red, taking on Ex-MYM, who have a little bit of a new abbreviation, depending on what you want that to stand for. But they are on your left. Kuban, Makata, Mackler, Take Fun V2, I believe something for Sharu, and of course Libic.
Yep, certainly, as we do have the very first bands coming in here. Draven, LeBlanc, Kha'Zix, Kassadin, Gragas, and Elise, so not too surprising right there. Maybe the Draven, but I believe that is a targeted ban towards TheFoxSound, and well, Yasuo being open, that one goes over to Ex-MYM.
Okay, well, with Yasuo open, that's a big deal, because at least back in the old days of MYM, back when they were in LCS, even in the EU Challenger Series, to me, I wouldn't have expected Sharu to ever play a Yasuo in the mid lane. Maybe they take it top lane, but this time around, could see a little bit of a shift in what we've grown to expect from their mid lane play. And that was pretty much take teleport every game, a very heavy focus on playing Orianna or big team fight AP carries. And now, could be seeing maybe the Ex-MYM roster turn over a little bit of a new leaf after leaving the organization.
Alright, so as we do have TheFoxSound for now, picking up the Vi and picking up the Thresh. I believe TheFoxSound were the ones to pick that one up yesterday, the Vi and the Thresh as well. Now I did just see one game as I went to bed right after that one. But they're sticking to the Vi and the Thresh as they did yesterday, I believe. And MYM trying to well, make something happen against that with the Lucian and the Annie.
Alright, well, with the Vi picked up... Excuse me, sorry, I had to sneeze there for a second, but with the Vi picked up, I think that represents a very calculated attempt at locking down wherever this Yasuo decides to go, as well as denying that pick from Ex-MYM, because taking Vi with a Yasuo is a really big combo, and it sets up for some pretty big snowballing in the mid lane. So should expect to see maybe another option for getting a lot of AoE knockups, because they don't have it quite yet.
Well, TheFoxSound actually going for a an interesting pickup here. They're going with the Shen alongside what seems to be the Sivir for now, as it hasn't been locked in quite yet. Has been now. So the Shen and the Sivir. Now we don't see Shens too often. Ex-MYM might be looking to counter that one out, although it seems like they're going with a fairly standard champion of the Dr. Mundo. But I'm curious how this Shen is actually going to work out for TheFoxSound here.
Once again, TheFoxSound have a pretty single-minded focus on just saving one guy and then locking another guy down. And the person they lock down most likely will be either, I'm guessing it's going to be Lucian, or obviously you can also lock down Yasuo, but you can also maybe prey on some of the weaker members. Like if you find somebody out in the jungle, then it sets up for nice invades, as well as going bottom lane. Lucian is a little bit more mobile, so maybe you just pick on that Annie. So we'll see where that focus jungle pressure is, but it's also a Sivir for a lot of really good calculated move speed and aggression.
MYM doing something I did not quite expect here, although we do see the Wukong more and more these days. MYM deciding, or Ex-MYM as I should say, deciding to pick up the Wukong right there, getting a little bit of extra, well, knock-up, of course, for the Yasuo in there. On the other side, Godro will be rocking the Akali for his team in that's what seems to be the middle lane, as Xerius is going towards that top lane, of course, with the Shen. So we do have our full lineups here, and well, it seems like MYM are going for a fairly heavy AoE composition here.
And with the way that the AoE is gonna work, the setup for that really has to be probably Wukong stealthing in, but you can also kind of turn that around, because while it's ideal to have Wukong ult and knock everybody up, and then an anti-stun down on top of that, you can also set things up with an anti-stun, and then that sets up for, okay, we're gonna get the most perfect knockup that we want, and then right into, of course, Yasuo's last breath, and throw in the I guess the Dr. Mundo, just so that you have an established tank line in case you need somebody to kind of run in first and kind of start the fight for some ult follow-up. But look, this is really interesting to me from the TheFoxSound, because while they do have a lot of mobility to keep themselves spread out, more importantly, they've got a ton of counter-engage, because after Ex-MYM just run at their faces, they can kind of turn things around and surgically pick off, you know, one member or two of the team. We'll have to see what they have coming our way as we do hop into the game. Before we do, I want to make sure you guys check out Esports Venture. You can see the link right down below the stream. If you're interested in betting on all kinds of League of Legends matches, head over to esportsventure.com and help support them. Enjoy yourself some esports betting, and stay tuned because we'll be right back.
Slow down, no. Can you feel it too? There ain't no stopping now. Feet off the ground, head to the sky. Yeah, wind by my side. You in my vision, directly we collide. You pull me in, I don't resist. Time seems to fly, but the clock doesn't tick. I crash into you, we both feel the hit. We both feel the way that our chemicals mix, and I wish that I just keep my eyes shut. Maybe this time will be enough. Without you here, I wouldn't never see the stars. I'm headed for ya, put on the gas. I'm coming straight at you, no looking back. You are my star. We are connected, misdirected to the high. You are my star. We are connected, misdirected to the high. Then we collide. Statue, your heart is a magnet, I'm coming at you. Girl, you're my target, I'm aiming at you. You're a comet, I'm trying to catch you. We can break any rule they ever taught you. Forget about anything they ever bought you. Cause me and you don't need a lot in this world to get by. Plus you know I got you, you pull me in. I don't resist, time seems to fly but the clock doesn't tick. I crash into you, we both feel the hit. We both feel the way that our chemicals mix, and I wish that if I just keep my eyes shut, maybe this time will be enough. So I need the dark. Without you here, I would never see the stars. I'm headed for ya. Put on the gas. I'm coming straight at you, no looking back. You are my star. We are connected, misdirected to the high. You are my star. We are connected, misdirected to the high. Then we collide.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Chaos TV's presentation of the EUS Challenger Series. We are here in the semifinals for the matchup of the Ex-MYM team in the blue taking on the TheFoxSound team in the red. I am Rapid, with me is Nature, and we're going to take you through first best of 3 of the night. Again, through a little bit of a pause here before we start up the game, and pretty excited to actually be casting League of Legends today because, of course, everything is working, and I know our producer's pretty happy about that, and I know everybody else is too.
Yeah, we had all our fingers crossed, and well, it worked out. We don't have any spectator issues for now, let's hope. And let's hope they won't appear in time, as we are just waiting out a 3-minute pause because we asked these players to pause ahead of the game so we could remake if need be. Now, we are just about to head on to the Rift, but if you were to take a look at both of these lineups, Rapid, is there any of these two teams you would favor over the other?
Well, you know, it's hard to bet against the LCS experience that Ex-MYM have. They do have a very synergistic team composition, and that's something that they've always done. Maybe a little bit weaker in lane phase, but very, very strong when it comes to team fights. Well, over on the TheFoxSound, they have a bunch of single target, individual kind of ideas, where Sivir's going to be able to kite backwards, and then you have single target lockdown from maybe 1 or 2 people, the Xarius taunts, and then Santrin and Godbro just locking one person down and really being a pain. So I really want to see how this laning phase works because, like was mentioned earlier, we've got a Shen in the top lane, and that's a big tank, and there's a Dr. Mundo there too, but the rest of the team very, very aggressive.
Oh, Xarius actually diving in there. 2-man stun coming out of Libic. Flash being burned by Godbro. Trying to get out there as fast as he can. Xarius also being forced to get out. First blood going over to Ex-MYM here. Zaichin not quite done here yet, or they're not quite done with Zaichin rather. Zaichin being forced to flash as well. Does manage to dodge the cleaver, almost out as he manages to get a turn around the corner, and that means it is going to be a little bit of a gold lead here for MYM, of course.
Just a little bit, and more importantly, the first and I guess only kill going to Take Fun V2 is going to be subbing in for, well, I guess trying out to, excuse me, better word for it. In the mid lane here on Ex-MYM is Yasuo, heads back to base and is able to grab some early ward coverage. And it's interesting to me to see kind of the change between Season 3 and Season 4. If this were Season 3, you'd see maybe like a longsword in there because you'd get a ton of extra gold. But first bloods before the 2-minute mark don't really give you that much anymore.
No, so he'll just be, let's see, rocking the Vision Ward and the Stealth Ward alongside his Dorn's Blade. He is going to be facing up against this this Akali, of course, meaning that we could see a little bit of an explosion happening in that middle lane once both of these two hit that level 6 mark. Until then, I have a feeling that both of them are just going to try and poke it out, but at the same time, they're going to try and be a little bit passive as well.
Alright, so we have to kind of look at exactly how things worked out after that. One big thing to check out is summoner spells. You can see it flashes up for Libic, flashes up for Mackler, and then Kuban's got his spells, but Mokate and Take Fun V2 both very, very well, summoner-less. Let's put it that way. And you can see kind of the same thing on the opposite side, but without very many ignites burned. Shen is down at ignite, but by and large, everybody has their flashes, with the exception of Zishion and Onichan. So, or not Onichan, but Godbro. And so it might be a little bit of an extra focus on ganking those lanes. Libic gets pulled in, but dodges away from that boomerang blade.
Yeah, nice little hook coming out there out of Zaichin, who I think Ex-MYM were predicting him to hook in Mackler because he was actually chasing Mackler, but then again he just turned around there. Good flay coming out of him once again. Crazy Caps trying to do as much work as he can, but Zaichin is taking a little bit too much poke for his liking here, and he is forced to back away just a little bit. Reach a safe distance and well, heal up from there, but he might have been a little bit over aggressive right there.
Taking a look at the early game, Kuban up in the top lane is Dr. Mundo. Definitely loses out in a lot of matchups early on, but then becomes just about unkillable towards that late game. And I'm pretty sure that both of these guys top lane, while they will harass one another, you have to make sure not to fall behind in that respect. They're going to be fine. They're just going to beat on each other and kill some minions, and it's going to be super exciting, I promise you. Spell Shield from Sivir, but not actually needed. Flash out from Libic, but is it enough? Stun there on Zixion. One more auto attack, and it's Mackler. Caught him looking, and now Santrin forced away as well. Crazy Cap's just there for some damage, but has to watch out. Dropping low.
Yeah, the TheFoxSound being forced out of their bottom lane very, very early here. Crazy Camps will have some trouble defending, although he does have quite a good wave clear, of course, with that Boomerang Blade. Santrin actually sticking around, so he could be trying to defend this turret. Makata and Libic might have been looking for the dive, but they see Santrin and they turn around. Mackler trying to get as much damage as he can on the turret, but in the end, I don't think that turret is going to fall just yet here.
Turrets should stay alive, but still, it's the first 2 kills of the game, and both of them going on to the carries. It's actually a little bit better that the kill on that Mackler got, because that allows him a lot of extra gold from just CSing and gets him faster and further towards either the Trinity Force or the Bloodthirster, depending on which route he wants to go. The early kill gold, not very significant there for Take Fun V2, because he was able to spend it on some extra ward coverage, which sure kept him safe, and his pink ward's still around. Just keep in mind they do last forever now, so still providing a lot of extra safety and pressure there in the mid lane. We have seen him use that to get about a 10 CS advantage in 5 minutes, which is always nice.
It certainly is. That middle lane, Makata could be looking for a gank. Of course, Take Fun is pushed up very, very far, so I don't think Godbro is going to be in any danger of dying here anytime soon, because he might have some trouble farming under that turret. He is actually doing quite well, although he does have around a 10 creep score difference with Take Fun. Take Fun pulling ahead there slightly as Santrin spots out the pink ward in the river, cleans it out, and places a pink ward of himself in there.
It's always interesting for me to watch Yasuo players play, because while some mid laners would just like stop, position themselves to get maximum CS, Yasuo players, they're running around, they're making these weird shapes in lane, and they're just all over the place, just trying to charge that flow meter. And that is what makes Yasuo so good against Akali, because he can avoid the constant harass that she's trying to throw out from those marks of the assassin.
Okay, so for now, both teams in that bottom lane still squaring off, still trying to throw as much poke out as possible. Zaichin missing that death sentence, and he gets punished for it quite heavily. Mackler getting that poke in there with that double shot, of course. The Light Slinger passive. Meanwhile, now middle lane, Take Fun taking a whole lot of damage. Godbro trying to pressure him out of lane very early. Ignite is landed, but he might be a little bit in. He might be in a little bit too deep here. Godbro being forced out very quickly. Uses the shroud, and he will be able to dash towards those enemy minions. Makata was there at the exact right moment.
Okay, that was a little bit of an over-aggressive dive, because not only was Mokata there, like you said, at the exact right moment, but also Take Fun would have had a last breath available if he had hit a knock-up, so that could have gone horribly wrong for Godbro. But as is, he was able to escape, didn't have to use his flash, but his Ignite's going to be down for now.
Okay, so the Boomerang Blades are starting to do quite a lot of damage as it as that skill has reached a level 3 just now, so they will be trying to force Mackler and Libic to farm under their turret, or Mackler only rather. For now, Crazy Caps and Zaichin pushing relatively hard in that bottom lane. Mackler and Libic trying to do as much as they can about it. Meanwhile, Kuban could be trying to bait out something here in that top lane. He gets taunted up. Xerus could be looking for the kill. Great Cyclone. Is it going to be enough? However, Xerus taking so much damage, and he is going to go down right there to the crushing blow. Makasa picking up the 3rd kill for his team.
And that's exactly how you want to play top lane. The only time you should ever be all in fighting in the top lane is if you know you have your jungler's pressure there. Because if you start to fight and you don't, and the other guy does, then you just straight up lose. And it's exactly what we saw there. Great gank timing by Mokate. Once again, had it in the mid lane. Perfect timing in top lane too. This guy is all over the place and really making that jungle Wukong look good.
Yeah, and of course the cooldown on the Cyclone isn't too long, so he will probably have that one up when he needs it. As Take Fun right now is trying to pressure Godbro a little bit more. The CS discrepancy is starting to grow as it has almost reached 70 CS, which is starting to hurt Godbro, I feel like. And, well, Godbro really needs some pressure in that lane. Santrin has been called over there, but he has been spotted out by a ward. So Take Fun isn't going to die here anytime soon because he might know what's coming his way.
And a Yasuo that doesn't die, let's talk about how effective that is. Looks pretty good. Notice a couple things did just change. The pink ward placement was kind of switched. You've got it, instead of Take Fun's pink ward there at that Baron bush, you've got one placed out there from the TheFoxSound. The culling to come out in that bottom lane as we have trading in the mid as well, but just in time we got Santorin coming bottom as well, looking for the knockup. Flash is in there, no knockup to follow. A stun on the Santorin is going to switch targets on to Libic, locking him down.
Yeah, Libic with the Vault Breaker coming down on him. Santrin picking up that kill. Ignite was taking on him. He's not going to die, however, so TFS take home the very first kill for them in this game. Actually closing out that gold discrepancy to around 300 gold. So not a whole lot right there for MYM. And MYM aren't in a definite lead here just yet. Now they might be looking to get a solid foothold as Makata is flanking around that middle lane. Godbro might not know what is coming his way, but I think he might have spotted that one out with a ward. He certainly has. And he is still a little bit overextending here. Great knock-up right there out of Take Fun. Pink ward coming down out of Makata. Take Fun not done here just yet. Flash coming out of Makata even. Uses the Cyclone to speed himself up and get out.
Maybe, I mean, that was
you said
a
it's
misclick. Yeah. I was expecting Mokata to actually go maybe a little bit aggressive there, but backed out and did it a little bit more quickly because, of course, you got the move speed acceleration on the Cyclone. That's, yeah, a little bit of an unfortunate misclick, so not going to be able to be aggressive here for a few more seconds. About a minute and a half, to be honest. And top lane, we've got a taunt going down on a Q-bot, and he's actually taken down pretty low, but once again, has that sadism right on time.
Yeah, it will just be laughing while he regenerates a whole lot of health. Sirius might still be in a good spot once that sadism wears off, because of course he is a little bit more tanky at this point. He does have himself that ruby crystal. Oh, wait a second, I tell a lie. Coupon should be more tanky because he does have the Giant's belt and the Negatron cloak. So in the meantime, actually, the TheFoxSound capitalizing on, well, I'm not too sure. I think Mackler going back to base by taking home that dragon.
So 3-1, you've already got kills on basically everyone that matters. You can probably do without kills on your support and top laner. Both are more utility based this time around. But if you look towards the Yasuo build, it's almost towards that static shield. And that is the big power spike. Of course, the other big power spike being the Infinity Edge. That'll come a little bit later on. But Akali's not doing too badly. The only downside is took a little bit of a detour through for Sorcerer's Shoes instead of rushing that Hextech Gunblade, which is that big power item for Akali's these days. So that might wind up biting him in the end, but you know, time will tell. I actually like that choice because it makes you a little bit more effective, but oh, top lane Zarius in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, Take Fun could be going in there. There's a last breath. There's a Cyclone. Down goes Zarius. Take Fun takes home the kill, and that makes it 4-1 here. MYM looking very, very strong, and TFS are, well, picking up the scraps, and I don't think, well, they might be trying to capitalize on something here by taking down that turret, or at least doing as much damage as they can on that turret in that middle lane. But for now, MYM are starting to get ahead quite rapidly.
Quite rapidly indeed, Nature. Now with Kuban putting a lot of pain there in the top turret. He was going to head back to base, but decided that getting that top turret down to about half hit points is probably going to be a better idea. But in the mid lane, you get to see that lockdown right on a take fun. How far can you dive? The answer is far enough. And perfect job by Santorin to tank up the turret just long enough to let Godbro get in there and get the kill.
Yeah, that turret is going down as well. It's a gold lead here, actually, for the TheFoxSound, so they are going to be content with that. Very first turret of the game going over towards them. And, well, in the meantime, Kuban capitalizing on Zirius' absence, picking up that turret, but the TheFoxSound not done quite yet here, as they are pressuring that middle inner turret. Makate is just going to have his way with these minions, and the rest of the TheFoxSound back away.
In North America, there's this player named Zishian, and so Zishian reminds me a lot of that from a very old school team. And now walking into that push, teleport bottom lane as well. We've got Kuban coming in, actually stops that vault breaker from Santorin, and might be enough to keep Libic safe, but holy cow, that's a lot of aggression. That's why you don't face check bushes.
Yeah, that certainly is, although Godbro could be trying to have his way here with Take Fun. Take Fun taking a whole lot of damage, but Godbro going quite low as well. Jumps towards Libic, gets a stun on himself, and that is going to be the death of him. But down goes Libic as well. Crazy Caps picks up that kill. There is on the hunt. He's desperately trying to get out. He doesn't have too much mana, but he reaches a safe distance, and that makes it 1-1.
Then Godbro at the last second turns that around, bursts down Libic, and while he does die himself, somewhat of a Pyrrhic victory there as he does find himself some kills. Santorin is just going to help clear out this wave at the turret, but now you can see a very strong rotation here as Ex-MYM going to look to steal away that red buff. Kuban's going to get initiated on. There's the ult right on Santorin, blows him up. It's his last breath, and now Crazy Cat's forced to run away there. Flash in from Kuban, and the culling coming in from behind. Crazy Cat's dodging away from just the last little bit of damage, and it's Godbro just in time, keeping him alive.
Yeah, but Godbro isn't done here quite yet. There's a double kill coming in on towards Mackler, and, well, it seems like he hasn't given up here either, as Zirius and himself are trying to chase down Take Fun here. Jumps on towards Take Fun, gets stunned up, takes a whole lot of damage, but uses that second charge of the jump to jump on towards Take Fun once again. Takes a little bit too much damage, goes down in the process. Zirius picks up the retribution kill, and it seems like the TheFoxSound are right now desperately trying to back out of that Ex-MYM jungle. Saichin hooking on towards Libic is not going to be enough to save him, however, as Zirius is still in a fight with Libic. Libic somehow survives, and Zirius, great juke right there out of Makata. Zirius being forced to flash, runs in towards Mackler, and Zirius being forced out as well. That was a little bit messy.
Messy's a good way to describe it, but I like to think more that it was just everybody being right where they needed to sort of counter the right amount of aggression. Now, Darius could have followed and suicided for the kill onto, I believe it was Mokata. He got out of there alive, and I don't even know what to say about that. It was so back and forth, because right when you thought somebody was going to die, they had backup from an ally over and over again. And repeatedly, Godbro keeps going in there, getting kills, but then he also keeps dying too. So not the cleanest of fights, but still ones that get both Yasuo and Akali. Carries for both teams a little bit further ahead. And there's that Gunblade completed for Godbro.
Yeah, and the dragon is coming up in another 30 seconds, so the TheFoxSound might be trying to get a little bit of a foothold near that dragon area. Meanwhile, that bottom lane, Godbro finishing off Mackler in a heartbeat. And, well, Mackler did not see that coming whatsoever. So Godbro picking up another kill for his team right there. They are 3,000 gold ahead for now. Stand United is available, so this could be a good dragon fight for the TheFoxSound, because, of course, they will be forcing an answer towards that Zirius split push in that top lane, as Kuban's teleport isn't quite up here just yet.
Godbro doing that Akali thing, split pushing bottom lane. I remember the only other North American team that I've seen run Akali was, I think, Complexity Red do it a lot. And they always do pretty much that same thing where they'll just send Akali bottom lane, split push all the time, and just get up to some pretty crazy high CS numbers for that middle lane, you know, prospectively, and keeping it right back to even there with Take Fun V2. It's nice to see both carries really doing a good job. Now, I have a little bit of a personal vendetta against Yasuo because when he first came out, I don't know, I played like 10 games all against Yasuo and just got smashed every single one of them. So I love seeing him lose, but I also love seeing him played very well. And together with this team that seems pretty tailor-made just to help him succeed, it's been nice to see maybe little hints of the success in those wombo combos between like Wukong and Yasuo, but we really haven't seen that in a big 5-on-5 team fight, which should be coming up here in the next 3 minutes or so when Dragon does respawn.
Yeah, so the TheFoxSound gets a little bit of a uncontested Dragon right there, and that extends their gold lead to 3,500, which is very good for them. They are looking to extend it even more in that top lane. Zaichin does get a hold of Take Fun. Take Fun gets spotted out. The TheFoxSound try to disengage on the hunt, is available if needed, and they back away safely. Not even going to need to use that on the hunt, but meanwhile that bottom lane, Stand United being used. Great taunt on towards Libic while Godbro jumps on towards Makler. Makler goes down. Libic in all kinds of trouble. He goes down as well. Santrin desperately trying to get out right now when the teleport came out of Kuban. Kuban 1 versus 3 with the help of the turret manages to get all of them under out of his turret range, and well, he might not be done here just yet. Sirius trying to get out, and he is a little bit too tanky for Kuban to take down.
Man, that was a crazy dive, but great usage of teleport both times that Kuban has TP'd bottom. Really working out. You can see focus on getting this blue buff over here. Probably will go to crazy caps, but the pressure, just the aggression paying off for the TheFoxSound. They're forcing out teleports. They're putting so much pressure on that all they have to do is back off for these big objectives, and Ozirius might have bitten off a little bit more than he can chew here. He's looking for that dash over the wall, but Take Fun's right there, try to dash away, not able to escape, and Yasuo claims himself his 4th kill of the game.
Yeah, that is going to hurt. If he manages to pick up himself some more items, he is just going to shred through pretty much everyone except Zirius, maybe. He might just even be able to shred through Zirius. Meanwhile, Kuban finds himself caught. Santrin flashes for it. There's the Assault and Battery. Down goes Kuban. Santrin picks up the 10th kill for his team. And, well, that was a very unfortunate for Kuban, to say the least.
Well, Kata cleared out some more coverage as well. Yeah, that's unfortunate. It's a pretty good way to look at that. Gunblade active, used on the Makler. Ward in the bush, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. The burst is on there, but only or Godbro, rather. I instinctively think the first name is the team name, and then there's the player name afterwards. I always want to call him Oni-chan, but it's just Godbro, if you guys remember him from way back in the day. This guy's been around in esports for a while, so... Akali doesn't find herself a kill, but does push Makler out of lane, keep him from farming, and pick up a lot of extra CS for himself.
Yeah, and surprising right there is that Godbro could have used his flash to chase down Makler, because I think he might have been in range for another Shadow Dance right there. However, for another jump right there on him, but I'm not sure whether he had any charges left, of course, and well, he favored getting out alive over using his flash to chase down Makler right there. So in that top lane, Sirius picking up a turret for his team. 37,000 for the TheFoxSound versus the 30,000 for MYM. Sorry about that. This is getting out of hand for the TheFoxSound.
Nice double hit there from the Boomerang Blade, but yeah, the TheFoxSound, they're starting to get their snowball rolling, and they need to find an answer here to Akali. He's gonna get that Shen ult right on a Kuban, and again, caught out from the entirety of the team. It's gonna be Mokata getting in there for a nice last breath setup, but Take Fun then, this guy's got too much damage, not enough health. A 4 for 0 off of a perfect engage there. The TheFoxSound getting picked and fighting these team fights in such a way that it prevents MYM from really using that big AoE combo.
And that is going to set them even more ahead in this game. 8,000 gold. Another jump coming out of Godbro. Not quite to manage to close the distance between himself and Mackler. They do manage to get themselves a turret, however. And that inhibitor is going down as well. The TheFoxSound taking home this inhibitor kill. And they are going to back away 10,000 gold. MYM are starting to run out of answers.
Ex-MYM, they do have a pretty strong carry lineup, but more importantly than that mid lane doing well, bottom lane really working out for the TheFoxSound. A combined 2-2 versus a combined 1-7. You can definitely tell where the focus has been for the TheFoxSound. It's always been bottom lane. They forced Kuban to TP bottom like 2 or 3 times, and now with that middle inhibitor down, as much as Ex-MYM are trying to push this in, they're pushing into a team that is totally okay with fighting them right now.
Yeah, Libic, of course, in that last fight, he got bursted very, very quickly. So I don't think he actually got his timbers off. Oh, we do have that Talisman of Ascension coming out of the TheFoxSound. Great Assault and Battery coming down on Take Fun. He's going to go down. The TheFoxSound gets himself a last breath on themselves, but that is not going to be enough for them to go down. Another kill coming in there. That is 4 kills already. Dragon going over towards the TheFoxSound as well. And, well, I think this could be, well, of course, you can never call GG unless the Nexus has been destroyed. But the TheFoxSound have started to roll ahead very, very far already here.
Take Fun V2 really started that fight off on the bad foot. Kuban, though, like you saw in the last fight, got caught out, forced the rest of his team to fight a pretty ill-advised engagement. And this time around, like I said, it was Take Fun who got caught out in the Dragon Pit, got cut off from the rest of his team, and, well, wound up going down. And then it was actually towards the end of that fight, Mackler, who was a little bit too close to the back wall of the Dragon Pit, and with a ward over that, Godbro was able to assassinate him across the back. And DFG rush after that Gunblade, that's a really big difference from the way you see Akali played in North America. Most Akalis in NA want to go for a Lich Bane second. Oh, Shed ultimate right there onto Akali. Burst and down, Take Fun over the wall. One more auto attack, and it's Godbro going godlike underneath that turret. Try to get in onto Libic. So much burst damage. Exterius in there, and they're just fighting this underneath the turret. You cannot run. You cannot hide. Mokate is going to go down there. It's a 4-for-1 exchange, and now Kuban trying to catch in on Azarius. Can he land those cleavers? Azarius trying to dodge away. Does not dodge that cleaver, but doesn't need to, because Crazy Cap's right there with the on the hunt and the ace for the TheFoxSound.
Yep, and they will just cruise down that bottom lane, take down that turret. Crazy Caps showing up at the exact right moment with the on the hunt with the boomerang blade to pick themselves up that ace. It is 4 versus 3. If MYM decide to fight this, I don't think that would be the best idea. But the TheFoxSound might not give them a choice here. Great flash and Vault Breaker coming out of Santorin right there. Stun coming down out of Libic, but that's not going to be enough to take down anyone here. Xerius survives with a slither of health. Double kill coming in for Crazy Caps. They're going to take down that inhibitor. Second inhibitor of the game going over towards the TheFoxSound. And these Nexus turrets are getting hammered on by them already. Death Sentence not quite connecting. Mackler finds himself in trouble once again. Kuban trying to form that front line, but there is no one fighting for him, so he is forced to flash out almost instantly. Cyclone being used by Makata. Flash coming out of Crazy Caps. Doesn't quite decide to dive the turret, but that Nexus is going down. Very first game going over to the TheFoxSound.
Nexus will fall, and that is the victory, of course. TFS will take game number 1. That means we have to